the question of who's hurting the most. You often must have found yourself debating yourself with someone or the other about why what you feel is valid, especially when it comes to suffering and the pain that you feel from the suffering. So imagine you went through a very tedious task. Maybe you're carrying buckets of water from your bathroom to your cooler and you're not very used to exercising. So that thing is very tedious for you. Your legs started aching. You sat down on the couch and your beloved sitting next to you on the couch looks at you and says, your beloved is very athletic. They look at you and they say, it's not even that bad. And your first response would be to jump at your defense and be like, what do you mean? It is hurting a lot. And I know what I feel, right? And I feel very, very bad now that this person is belittling my suffering. Suffering in itself is a different sort of struggle, but struggle is enhanced when you compare it with someone else's. Especially get into meaningless arguments about if your suffering is more than my suffering. And obviously, degrees of sufferings could vary drastically. But imagine a child who has been sheltered throughout his life, who has had support of his parents, has had nurture and care of parents, of loved ones, and suddenly they step out of the house and they, for the first time, experience something tedious. Maybe they have been out in the sun for the first time since their childhood for about more than an hour and start complaining about it. It's funny because that person is sheltered, so that person feels that his suffering right now in that moment is the worst he can imagine. And maybe he doesn't have that good perspective over life that he can't be complaining about something like this when there are people out there, laborers for example, who have been working all the time under the sun. That person just wants to cry about the fact that they have been out in the sun for more than an hour, and that's what the person wants to do. So how to have a harmonious conversation with a person like that? Oh my god, I've been out of the sun for so long, I feel nauseous. Well, we can take shelter. Yeah, we can. Let's go sit, have a drink. And what not to do? Are you 1 hour out in the sun and you can't even handle this? Well, I've never been out in the sun. Do you know how many people are struggling out there in the world? I will be the one who keeps record of everyone and how much they're struggling and how much a particular person is allowed to complain about their struggles. Why get in petty fights about who's struggling the most, who's hurting the most? If someone is hurting and they are telling you that they are hurting, can't we just stop it at that? Why does it have to be a conversation, a debate about why their pain is less significant, or why my pain is more significant because this is how I'm feeling and this is how much it's hurting me? I'm a big fan of understanding where a person is coming from and then giving validation or withdrawing validation because of that understanding. But when it comes to this, of validating a person's feelings towards their own pain, I am of the viewpoint that just give the validation. Why would you withdraw a validation for something like, I am hurting, I've had worse? Is this a competition? Is this a competition? And if you are someone's loved one and they are coming to you complaining, I've had such a bad day, and suddenly you go, well, wait till you hear about my day. Such futile attempts, and for what? You want sympathy. You feel you're deserving of sympathy more than the other person. You seek validation then, more than you think the other person is deserving of it. When someone is in pain and wants comfort, be it a child, your partner, your parent, anyone, don't get into meaningless conversations and debate about why your pain is less significant. And just try to bring out solutions so that their pain can be bearable, minimized even, if that's possible for you. But if minimizing their pain is hurtful to you, maybe have a better outlook towards it then. But when you think about living with virtue, one of the virtues that I feel is of the highest order is sympathy, empathy, and understanding the ways to navigate a world with sympathy and empathy. Because there will be many reasons to be a bad person, to go against morals, to go against highest virtues, but there should always be a voice inside of you telling you that you have to be a upholder of humanity, because then there will be nothing good in the world. You have to uphold humanity, right? And this is how you uphold humanity, by not getting into petty fights about who's suffering the most, and just giving validation. And when it comes to world hunger and all that, those are physical manifestations of sufferings. But I'm talking about emotional suffering. When it comes to physical suffering, well, obviously you can measure it, because there's an obvious measurement of if your limb has chopped off and you're just bruised on your leg. Anyways, I hope you took something away from this video. Even if you didn't, maybe you have something to add, leave that in the comments below. And that would be it for the video. Namaste.